love getting fucked up. I actually, I'm not getting fucked up probably for like a week.
Whoa, wow, what's going on, dog?
I just went really hard the other night, that night that I blacked out. And I'm like, ugh. Yeah.
You still feel it?
I don't feel hungover as much as I just like am not interested in getting fucked. And like, and I'm not interested. I'm not feeling like jazzed about drinking, smoking weed every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
but it's more just like the boozing. I'm not pumped about.
So you're cutting out drinking for a little while,
just for like 6 days.
So.
Until my boss's 55th birthday is Saturday, and so I'm gonna have some brews with him. You know.
Cool.
Yeah, of course.
Totally cool. Totally a normal.
Why are you laughing at me?
I don't know if I
would never drink with my boss.
Right? I don't think I've ever had a boss that I'd want to drink with.
Oh,
I mean,
that's the funny part.
I'm just like,
well,
you of all people, drinking with a man.
Yeah, drinking with the capitalist pig.
Dude, my boss fucking rules, okay? He's an incredible chef. We just vibe out.
Cody is a sucker for that. We're all a big family here.
No, man. It's really the best, my favorite job I've ever had.
No, I'm just giving you shit.
And my boss is a dope chef, and every Friday night we have it's tradition. We have the Friday night joint after work, and
nice.
He's just cool people, and I'm honored to be a part of his 55th birthday. It'll be a lot of fun, and there will be a lot of people my age there too, because that family is a big part of the restaurant community in Morgantown. You know?
Oh, are they?
Yep.
Suddenly you love family, Cody.
Suddenly you love family.
Know who didn't love families?
Godzilla.
Dude,
he said fuck families.
Godzilla said fuck I'll tell you, I'm just going to say it, you guys. Godzilla stood on business in this movie. He trampled on business, literally destroyed some businesses in Japan.
He stood on a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, shit. Welcome to Comics and Chronic, everyone. I am Jacob H. You already know who's with me. It's Cody Cannon, Anthony Iannaccio, and today we are discussing Godzilla Minus One from Toho Productions. So it is the actual Japanese production company that first created Godzilla.
Yeah.
And
I loved that he had the classic Godzilla design.
Yep. Classic Godzilla design, classic Godzilla war. Dude, the classic music.
Yeah.
He came out with the OG theme song.
Dude, the OG, like dun 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 dun.
Like his version, like The Rock later on in wrestling, he had "If You Smell," but he came out with "Do You Smell?"
Oh, yeah, exactly. This is his entrance music. It's Godzilla, the humanity. Oh my, the pure destruction. There was almost kind of that when that news team is on the building.
Yeah,
they're like, he's coming right for us. He looks really pissed off. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, dude, they got smacked.
Dude, I loved it. I thought the movie was fucking sick.
Amazing movie.
It leaps and bounds better than anything the American studios have put out.
I agree, and don't get me wrong,
Easily.
I like those movies, but no, this one, yeah, dwarfs it.
Shat all over it.
Yeah.
And it didn't do it.
This is a Godzilla movie, like 100%.
Yeah, it didn't do it by making it more action packed. It did it by adding depth and nuance.
Dude, I cared about every single character in this movie.
Every single one.
I cared more about these characters than I care about any of the humans in any of the
American ones?
The American franchise.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I don't care about Millie Bobby Brown or Bryan Cranston or those characters mean nothing. Here, dude, I also loved that they used post World War II as the backdrop. And
it was so real.
And
so
dude,
cool.
it was so real. It was also so real with how everyone was ashamed of God, I don't know.
Losing the war?
No, how he was ashamed of cowarding out of being kamikaze.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, you didn't even fucking crash your plane, you bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
It was cool. That was
they shamed him.
They shamed him, and that's also cool. I read a book about World War II in Japan, and how like Japanese, when they would take POWs of like the Allies, they treated them like shit because
They wouldn't
A,
kill
they just did,
themselves.
but B, yeah, they were like the fact that you guys didn't even fight to the death and we were able to take you prisoner alive, like you should be ashamed.
Yeah,
Because in
for sure.
in Japanese culture, it's such a warrior based culture that like they would rather die than be taken prisoner.
But in the movie, they did imply, and I don't know if this is historically part of that point, though, that they were too cheap to put to like build ejector seats for the plane.
I'm sure that is some accuracy.
You know, that makes more sense to me. Like they're like, oh, die for your country, but really they're like, we don't want to spend money on ejector seats, so just die.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give it more of that. It was definitely more die for your country. That's why like they have Harikara, where like if you don't die in battle, you kill yourself.
Yeah.
Well, whether or not Cody's gonna give me that guy when we cast the, I want to do that shit.
You're saying you're the pilot?
I just assumed Cody would give me that guy because that's the in every other episode.
Anthony, how dare you? No, I was.
What do you mean? You always cast me as the as the guy who offs himself.
No,
This guy
actually,
didn't even off himself though.
He didn't.
no. If I were to
You
cast
thought
you
he
as
might.
anything, Anthony, I would cast you as the dude who saved the day with the tugboats.
The kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that kid was stupid. Anthony's not stupid.
Yeah, that would be
True.
you, Cody.
Damn.
Just kidding.
Flamed you, dude.
Yeah, dude. Shots fired.
Dude, Anthony just chose violence.
No, because it sounded too
Godzilla
serious
coming
before
out
when I was
right
like,
now. That's like
Yeah.
he just atomic breath to you.
Yeah. Dude, I start hearing. Burr, 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 burr.
Yeah. Yeah, the hot boy horn is our dun dun.
our Godzilla
Yeah,
warning
our
signal.
Godzilla warning sign. Dude, you know what I really liked is that he started off as just like this like weird dinosaur monster that terrorized this one island, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was clear that the radiation made him
the
bigger.
Bikini Atoll tests made him
Yeah.
crazy powerful and big and whatnot.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool little like just I don't know.
Yeah,
I
he was just a regular old kaiju, and then
Yeah.
it turned him into like
that scene is great. That first scene on the beach when you first see like
terrifying.
like
It
first
felt like Jurassic Park.
yeah, it was terrifying. It felt like Jurassic Park, exactly.
Yeah.
And you see his like first form, which is still pretty terrifying.
Very Spielberg-esque, because I was gonna say it almost felt Jaws-like.
Yeah.
Well, no, there was that one scene on the boat that felt like exactly like Jaws.
Dude, that scene is great when he's chasing Godzilla's swimming, chasing the boat.
Yeah, and then
And they're
man.
dropping the mines on him.
yeah,
Dude, I love when they blow up his like they get the mine in his mouth and they blow up his head and he just like regenerates it back and you're just like, oh shit, dude.
yeah, crazy.
This movie was so fucking cool.
So fucking cool. So cool. Just the Japanese putting us in our place of filmmaking. Best action like monster movie all year.
Easy.
One of
Probably
the best
in a long
movies.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
of
say
all year.
that's the thing. I've been telling people, I was like, dude, this is not even like some dumb monster fighting monster movie. This is a film, and it just happens to have Godzilla in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved the whole family dynamic between God, I'm gonna butcher the names. I know Kuriko is the female. The baby's name is I want to say
Akiko.
Yeah, Akiko. Yeah, Akiko. And Shikishima.
Shikishima.
is the guy, the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the main character.
That whole family dynamic, like, I thought was like really.
And even like that woman who kind of takes over the nanny duties and stuff like that.
There was like a lot of heart and humanity in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of heart, a lot of humanity, a lot of the movie is about like the trauma and PTSD that come with war. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for real. No, it's a very dramatic movie. There's funny moments, but even like Jake was saying before, like you like the characters so much. Like no other Godzilla movie really feels like that. But I liked every character. It's like I don't want anyone to die. You know, there was no one that you had a reason to want to see dead.
I loved the captain of the ship.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
cool.
He was cool. That guy was my favorite.
We finally had a scientist that was good and cared about people and didn't want them to die.
Yep.
yeah, dude,
What was his
exactly.
name? Coda?
Yeah.
Yep, Coda was his name.
Okay, that could be Anthony.
I'll be Coda. I'm the scientist.
Anthony has Coda vibes.
I liked him. I liked him a lot. I like that he was like a big wig the whole time and they never knew. They were always just chilling.
Yeah.
He gives the big speech and then they go back and have drinks and he's just like, oh man, come on, it's going to work. And they're like, I don't know. Like it has a lot of holes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
your plan isn't going to really, and his plan really didn't work, unfortunately. That's what sucked.
No, it didn't. It didn't work at all.
It was a cool plan. I really like the plan.
But it was a cool plan. I mean, they even said, they're like, yo, this is the best fucking plan we have. Nothing else is going to work.
And with 1940s technology, you know, that's as far as you're going to go.
Dude,
which
well,
is
that
pretty
was
cool.
a great scene is when, in the beginning, when Shigeshima gets this new job, and he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like decommissioning old like ocean mines. And he's like, it's this really special boat designed to like not get fucked up by the mines. And you see it, and it's this rickety ass wooden boat, and the only reason it's chosen is because the mines are magnetic, so it
Yeah.
won't stick to the boat. And it's like, Jesus, dude, that fucking rinky-dink boat.
But it is still true to.
No,
it's
still
like they weren't really lying about it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just funny.
See, like stuff like that made me wonder, like, oh, I wonder if that's like a real historical thing that happened.
Yeah, it feels real.
It feels real, exactly. That this was grounded in like reality, and it worked.
Yeah.
I also just like loved the outright absurdity of the dude's plan. Like how silly it was almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
Like
it
we're gonna
was
drown him and then raise him back up really fast. And it's gonna
Yeah.
poison his blood. Decompression sickness. It would pretty much poison the oxygen in his body, which is what happens to us if you rise up too quickly from the ocean.
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's like, dude, even hearing that, I was like, I don't think that would work on him. I was like, this is a giant, massive sea monster. Like,
yeah.
who was, oh, dude, like in that scene when he's chasing the boat, when they put the mine in his mouth, and then that warship comes, and they're like, yeah. And Godzilla just fucks that warship up like it ain't no thing.
Yeah,
Oh my
that was
God.
so cool.
So
Well, the warship actually does put up a fight, and because if
It
you
does.
remember, it blasts Godzilla off of it, and then he just says "fuck it" from the depths and hits it with the
Dude,
atomic breath.
Yeah, he's like, bzzz. From the ocean, you just see that beam pop up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And every time he does it, it's a mushroom cloud. That's
What,
crazy.
dude. That's what like I really liked about this movie the most, because I feel like in the legendary Godzilla movies, you know, it's always like it's obviously like the atomic breath is like his final super mega move if he can't win physically any other way.
Yeah,
It's like you know, it's like the move Kamehameha. It's the equivalent of his Kamehameha.
yeah.
And so it's like, but like sometimes, especially in the newer movies, like I'll be honest, I do like Kong versus Godzilla, though I think Godzilla should win pretty easily, especially if he used the atomic
Check out
breath.
that episode, by the way.
Yeah, check out that episode. So it's like I've always felt like when Godzilla uses his atomic breath, most things should die immediately.
Mhm.
But they kind of just take it. In this one, if like when he shot his breath, it was like dropping a bomb on Hiroshima. It was like you would see, dude, like that scene when you see like, the wind knock down all the buildings and what's her name goes
Yeah.
flying. That scene was harrowing.
Harrowing. Also, she should have stayed dead.
I agree, 100%. She should have stayed dead.
I think that's like literally my only gripe with the movie.
I
The
agree.
family should have been broken.
I agree. When I knew her right away too at the end when he reads that letter. I was like, oh, she's alive, isn't she?
Yeah.
And then I was like, God damn it, keep her dead, man.
Yeah, where's the stakes?
I didn't have a problem with that. No, I,
It
don't,
wasn't
I
the
think there were
worst.
still stakes.
There were still stakes.
It's just a
It was-
happy ending, you know?
Yeah, you're right. But like, it also like I do it, and it's not going to take away a lot. But I do think she should have stayed dead too.
No, it's not even gonna. It's not gonna take
You're
away.
taken away.
No, it's not taking away anything. I'm giving this, Doug.
We're just so used to having like
It's a 6.
endings
We
that
all
have
know
that
it's
like.
6. Right, Cody?
I actually really like. Yeah, of course. I really like the ending. I really like the ending.
Oh, Cody's
like,
not giving it a 6.
I like that it's a happy ending.
So I mean, I think happy endings are deserving, but just the fact that she literally got nuked and just
She
like
did, yeah.
I just had to like wrap a couple bandages around her head.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, you're 100% right. The
Not only-
shockwave of the nuclear bomb, like, flung her
Not
back.
only
Like,
that-
you-
But when that whole attack was happening, he runs to the city to find her and finds her in that crowd pretty easily.
very
Yeah.
easily. Dude, but that scene when Godzilla attacks the train
Oh
is
man,
fucking
Oh, man.
cool, man.
dude, yeah, every set piece with Godzilla because I'd say Godzilla at most was like only in a third of the movie.
Yeah. Which works.
Yeah, it worked.
Agreed. He's not even in it that much, but every time he's in it, he steals the show. Like,
it's impact. It's like, well, it gives like real gravity, way more gravity to like the sighting of a monster of that magnitude than it does say in like other movies. You know what I mean?
I agree. I also really liked when he would be walking, he almost seemed pretty like still and slow.
Yeah.
And then when he's in Japan, in that city, and like he like whips his tail, like it's really fast. Or even when the pilot is flying around him trying to lure him back into the ocean, like he's still like walking, and then Godzilla will see him, but then he'll like snap really quickly with his jaws. And it's like, oh shit, like I didn't realize how fast you could move, dude. Like,
yeah, I mean in the water he's so fast, like you're not getting away from him.
But it's just cool because like you see him, you think he's this big lumbering thing, but then like when he wants to, he can fucking like animal beast mode.
Yeah, it's almost like how, they say that people perceive time differently than like tiny birds and bugs and stuff like that. It's almost the exact same thing. Like it seems like he's slow, but because of his size, he's moving faster. But maybe because of how big he is, he's just he probably perceives time differently. You know what I mean? So it would be like us trying to snatch out a fly out of the sky or something.
You're right. That's a good. Nice. Cody, that might have been one of the smartest things you've ever said.
I hate you guys.
It's like Cody's beast right now.
Oh, Dark Beast. Dark Cody, yeah. Cody, that'd actually be a good Halloween costume for you, Dark Beast.
Dark Beast. I do love to not wear shirts when I can.
Exactly. Dude, I loved when he was powering up the atomic breath, his spikes would like shoot out,
Oh yeah.
And then like when he like shot it, they would go back in. Like that was so cool.
So cool.
Yeah, that was a great effect.
It was fucking cool.
The design was cool. The set pieces were cool. Seeing him bulldoze, was it Tokyo?
Yeah, it was pretty much. Well, the city was called Gizu, I think.
Okay, the one that got wrecked?
Yeah, the one that got wrecked is Gizu.
Yeah, seeing him do that was what everything you would want from a Godzilla movie.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, it just was so well done. This movie was so well done. The CGI and special effects out of this world.
I loved it.
The cinematography found this cool way of somehow like, even though it has modern movie with modern effects, it almost like looks like a movie that was shot, 30, 40 years ago.
No, I agree. Dude, like the scenes of, I don't even know the name of the city, so I'm not going to try it. But when he does meet that woman who does shame him, they're all obviously like homeless in these little shanty shack towns. Like, all that like design, like was really cool. Like it looked like real like post World War II Japan.
Yeah. But then you actually saw his house and his neighborhoods like slowly get better. He was making more money. That was cool too.
Dude, that's because there's a lot of cool knowledge about Japanese reconstruction post World War II.
Yeah, dude.
I'm sure, yeah.
This movie was really cool.
I love the Godzilla design. Like it reminded me of, so the only other Godzilla movie I would say comes close to this quality wise is Shin Godzilla. I loved Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about Shin Godzilla. I don't like the design of Shin Godzilla.
See, so this, I thought this was closer to Shin Godzilla than it was obviously the American version of Godzilla we've seen. So by that I mean the Shin Godzilla design had like almost like lifeless dead eyes. This one had that a little bit. There was more coldness to this Godzilla. The American Godzilla, the newest one, it's like you could tell Godzilla's smarter. Like there's more emotion and like it's
American?
like this got and the American one, like the one we've seen with like Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla versus Kong, that Godzilla.
I'm saying that one feels a bit more like I could read its emotions, and it just this one I just liked better. It was scarier for that reason. It had that old school design. It had the more lifeless eyes, and that reminded me of Shin Godzilla.
Yeah,
I don't think the eyes in this one were lifeless. I think but they were.
That's
just
not
like,
a negative.
I don't think they were lifeless. They were just alive. They were just the eyes of like an animal, like a pure
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when it
Like
looked
a
at you,
cold
you
stare.
knew exactly. It was just like a cold reptilian stare too.
Yeah. Yeah. Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, dude, like when he's swimming and you see his eyes and he's just like focused on that boat and you're like, dude, this thing's not gonna fucking stop.
Also, this Godzilla would wash American Godzilla and Kong.
Yep.
I think so. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easily. Yeah. Oh, King Kong is not standing a chance.
I always
against
don't
this
like the fact
Godzilla.
that King Kong would somehow like didn't or lose to Godzilla.
Yeah, King Kong really doesn't have chops against Godzilla.
He doesn't,
like it's
man.
cool.
I
but
don't even think King Kong is nearly as cool as Godzilla.
yeah, agreed. I agree with that. That's not a hot. That shouldn't be considered a hot
Yeah,
take.
he's not, I mean, he's cool, but he's not as cool as Godzilla by any means.
I do want to say, though, right around the time this movie came out, I saw somebody posting memes and stuff like that about how there's no possibility that Godzilla could live because of gravity and stuff. It would buckle under its own weight. And I was like seeing this stuff and I was just like, how about you have some imagination and stop being such a fucking loser?
Right? People who do that
Also,
now
I don't think that's true.
who don't do it in a joking way. Yeah, I think I don't necessarily think that's true either. I feel like anything could be designed to.
I saw a TikTok recently where someone was pointing out, like, if you go deep enough into the ocean, those rules aren't going to apply anymore. So
That's
theoretically, there could be something that keeps growing and growing, and it doesn't stop. Like, also dinosaurs existed. Like, even if Godzilla was a huge dinosaur size, you know.
Also, goldfish will grow. No, seriously, goldfish will grow as big as their like containment is relative to it. So if you put a goldfish in a fishbowl and you put a goldfish in a lake, the one in the lake will grow bigger simply because it has more space. That's like a real like fact.
Yeah, I've seen a giant goldfish. You're right. Yeah.
There are giant goldfish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's freaky.
yeah, a lot of animals are like that. Almost like a Targaryen thing, like with the dragons. Like if they have more space to roam, they'll be bigger and stronger.
Nice.
Ooh.
Boom, shaka.
So
laka.
recently they came out with a comic. I haven't even read it yet, but just based on our knowledge, Godzilla versus the Justice League.
Yeah, I saw that.
Could Godzilla take the Justice League?
No.
No,
Not even this
I'm not gonna lie.
Godzilla.
Yeah, not even this. Like,
Yeah.
dude, Superman alone probably kills Godzilla, right? Let's be real. He flies through his fucking head.
Wonder Woman probably kills.
I feel like Superman would bullet style like fly through his brain.
This
What we've also
Godzilla
seen
seems
is
to have
Godzilla
really good.
Could regenerate. Like,
Yeah, he was like Cell from Dragon Ball Z. Like, you know, they got him down and he exploded. But
no,
seriously,
you're
'cause
right.
he
At
really,
the end of the movie, it's just like a chunk of him that starts.
and
like,
he starts regenerating.
Yeah,
And that's the problem
regenerating.
with Cell. Like, you had to get him down to like nothing. Like, you had to destroy every cell in his body
Yeah.
to kill him. So there was no post credit, right? I didn't
was
stick
no-
around.
I
Okay,
did.
yeah.
There was no post credit.
No,
Gotcha.
post-credit.
So yeah, that's the last thing you see.
No, it just ends with like a chunk of his body like bloop 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 starting to grow back,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, cool.
Yeah, so this Godzilla, is that in any other Godzilla?
The regenerative properties.
Kind of not like regenerative, yeah. Not like that Wolverine, like it was in this movie. That was cool as fuck.
Yeah, that was cool too when his face got
his
blown
face
off.
like gets blown off, but it starts like come back.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
exactly. Well, you think about it, and animals like lizards and stuff like that, they lose a leg or a tail, and
Totally.
that shit grows right back, you know?
Ooh,
Exactly.
great point,
Good
Cody.
point.
Damn, scientist Cody. This episode
What is
taking
Dark
over.
Beast Cody doing here today?
Wait a minute, Cody, Coda. That's who Cody is.
Cody's plan is like, okay, we're gonna get it really high. We're gonna have planes flying around Godzilla, like spewing out weed smoke until it's just like,
Oh, that's a good idea, though.
Yeah, just make Godzilla more chill.
Just calm him the fuck down. I also love that Godzilla's never there to like eat people. He's just there to fuck shit up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you're right. You never saw him eat anybody.
Even when he bit people, he just bit them and then he would throw them.
yeah.
Like he was strictly there to fuck shit up.
Well, at the beginning, he would like bring up whale carcasses and stuff because they were talking about the people, how they would just like he hunts. That's like his hunting grounds.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, he hunts like big sea, like fish and mammals, probably. You know.
exactly. And so So it's not like a violence. It's just a territorial thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. He stands on
Oh,
business.
yeah.
He swims
Yeah.
on business.
He
If there's
swims on
business
business.
there, Godzilla's gonna stand on it, swim on it, or fuck it up.
Because even at the beginning, when he first gets on the island, he's just kind of like checking shit out, and then the people start
Yeah,
freaking out.
he wasn't
so he
even
goes on a
attacking until they
rampage.
started shooting him. Yeah,
Yeah,
Good
he
point.
was just there to like stalk and hunt and.
and then he was like, "Oh, yeah, that would." Then he was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers, bet." And just fucking put him down.
I did really like that, like when he was around, like deep sea fish would die and like float up to the top.
Yeah, from the radiation
Yeah.
pouring out of him and
Yeah,
stuff.
it took me actually like halfway through the movie. I was like, "Oh, it's because he's radioactive. That's why."
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize.
Oh,
like,
I
that's
didn't
why
even
they were-
realize that.
Yeah.
Until right now.
Yeah, but seriously, I was like, "Oh, that's why the fish die." I was like, "That's a cool little detail." You know?
Yeah. So all of them are definitely exposed to Godzilla
That's the
radiation.
one thing.
then.
It's like whenever he's like, like even if he's walking around, it's like, isn't he incredibly radioactive right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh, Japan's pretty fucked, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey, they're about that life.
That radioactive life.
Japan is about that radioactive life. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think that they're about it as much as it just happened to them.
No, you're absolutely right.
I think years later they're still processing it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, even like without the two bombs, they've had so many nuclear accidents. But Fukushima power plant.
Yeah.
But it's also I don't know, like it's interesting. Like, do you think this movie had a deeper meaning? Like when you watch Shin Godzilla, that movie felt like it was very like politically heavy and had like a meaning behind it. You
Yes, I think this movie is also. I mean, that's what Godzilla was originally created for. He was a metaphor for, making this crazy weapon now.
Exactly.
It changes the landscape. I mean, even Oppenheimer talked about it. It's like, dude, the world will never be the same again.
Yeah, and Godzilla is just
Godzilla is like
the
the
monster
metaphor.
metaphor for that.
Exactly. He's a monster metaphor for the radioactive power, unchecked radioactive power,
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I just thought of something. I started with something serious, but then you said Oppenheimer. Could Oppenheimer find a way to beat Godzilla?
No, I think
No.
I mean Oppenheimer, one might say, is the grandfather of Godzilla.
Yeah. Old Poppy Yoppy.
That makes sense.
Poppy
That makes sense.
Yoppy!
Poppy Yoppy.
Dude, Opzilla, dog.
But yeah, no, I don't think.
Opzilla.
I think if Oppenheimer were in this, he'd let his obsession for wanting the knowledge and end up getting whacked by Godzilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
You know what's
he gets
cool?
eaten.
Because the reason
In the-
Koda's plan worked is because he was like, we don't want to study this. We just want to get this thing the fuck away from Tokyo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. He would try to capture Godzilla, study Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's funny, in the original, like, OG first Godzilla movie, which is actually, like, you guys should watch it, because it really is this movie.
I've honestly never seen it.
Oh, they're incredible.
Yeah.
I used to,
They're really cool.
My mom used to watch them with me when I was a kid.
Same. All
Wait,
of
so
them.
does the first movie have a similar story to this one?
Quite literally very similar. Almost,
it's the story,
Almost down to the
almost,
sinking
yeah.
in thing. In fact, in the first
shit.
movie, Godzilla does sink. And there is a doctor. I don't know if his name is Koda, so I'm not going to go that far. But his design of like the crazy bushy hair and glasses is literally what it looks like in the OG Godzilla movie. And there is a scientist,
Okay.
and he's like so enamored by just like he does quite literally. He sinks with Godzilla, like he dies with Godzilla, and he's just like, no, this creature, like we could have learned so much. So it's
Yeah.
cool that you were like, you're saying Oppenheimer would have studied him. That's kind of like what happened in the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the original since I was young.
Yeah, it's
but-
been a long time, but I do remember it. Like in the end, the scientist dies with Godzilla, and they both sink to the ocean.
Nice. And this one, it's like nobody dies. We're gonna work together to beat
Well, I mean,
this
they
thing.
think he dies. They think they killed him,
Yeah.
but we know he's coming back.
Right. I guess it's had a truly happy ending.
Well, I also like that. Like this is also the closest. Like Godzilla is like for the majority of his movies, he is kind of a bad guy. They didn't start making him a good guy until they introduced other monsters for him to fight.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
he was
even in
always
the old
coming to Japan
Japanese
and
ones,
wreck. Yeah,
yeah.
even the old ones, he's just wrecking shit.
Yeah, and usually at first a lot of the monsters were the good guys like Mothra and
Yeah, Mothra's a
Kong.
good guy in the
You know what I
OG
mean? Like in the
movies.
OG
Yeah.
Kong
Really?
versus
In
Godzilla.
the OG Godzilla versus Kong, Kong wins and kills Godzilla,
Exactly.
which is
Damn.
crazy. But
Yeah. But does it?
Bad booking for that one.
dude, you should watch this movie. It's called Escape from Monster Island, and dude, the whole movie is cool because it's this Japanese kid and he's running around Tokyo. He keeps getting like bullied by these kids and like I don't know, his parents are poor and just like not there for him, and he's like literally like sleeping in like abandoned buildings. And whenever he sleeps and he dreams, he like wakes up on Monster Island and he befriends Godzilla's son Godzuki, which we saw in the cartoon later on WB.
When I look it up, Escape from Monster Island is a Powerpuff Girls episode.
Or maybe it's
That's
not
what
called
pops-
Escape, but it should be something Monster Island.
Monster Island.
Monster Island Godzilla. It's an old
Oh, Godzilla versus Gigan.
no.
That's what happens when I look up both of those things.
Look up. Fuck. Maybe it's not even. It's just. It should just be with a kid and baby Godzilla.
Godzuki.
Yeah, it's like kid. I'll look it up later. But no, it's a cool movie, and you see all the monsters like Rodan and Ghidorah and Mothra.
Dude, oh, yeah.
Nice.
Dude, I love Mothra.
Like, I would love to see basically all the monsters that Legendary has done so far. I kind of want to see this company do that. Like, I want to see this company's take on Rodan and Mothra and Ghidorah. Like,
yeah.
I would be
I'm
down to
super
see
into
more
that
of this Godzilla universe.
It's like the same cast trying to get Godzilla to help him this time, or the other way around, getting another monster to
so
fight
what happens
Godzilla.
is like the American movies do borrow from the Japanese movies in that like he does fight Ghidorah. Ghidorah's the three-headed dragon, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Rodan's like the giant flying dude.
yeah, he's the pterodactyl one.
Yeah.
But he does fight the monsters because he is like another animal and he's territorial. So he's like, what? He's like, only I can fuck up Japan. And then like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Damn, I need to go on a Godzilla deep dive because
There's a shit ton of movies.
I've only seen Shin Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong,
And the American ones?
the Godzilla one that came out with Bryan Cranston, and then the Matthew Broderick Godzilla,
Oh, what?
which is the worst one for sure.
Yeah. But we should do an episode on that.
Matthew Broderick Godzilla?
Yeah.
We should.
That,
I'd be down for
okay.
that, to be honest.
Damn, I had a toy of that Godzilla. I had a shirt. When you pressed it, you would hear the Godzilla roar.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's an essence to Godzilla that the American movies just don't quite get right.
I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because like what we were just saying, like if there's that like really heavy metaphor behind it, it doesn't work when he's in New York City
Yeah.
or, you know, LA or something like that, you know, like it's just like a monster attacking the city. Like those movies aren't very deep.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like it's still cool to see a giant lizard fucking up a city, you know, but this movie had one of the best Godzilla stories.
Got
easily.
it. The movie's called All Monsters Attack. It's from 1969.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Okay, but it takes place on Monster Island. It does.
Also, one of the things I love the most, we touched on it a little bit earlier, I loved the romance between the two leads. It was a really sweet story.
Yeah,
And like
I
the
agree.
way that like he took her in because he saw that she needed help, and then
Yeah.
like they kind of fell in love with each other, but neither of them wanted to. And it was sweet. It was touching.
I agree.
It was a will they won't they in the Godzilla universe.
It was cool because like World War II destroyed these people's lives. The baby literally doesn't have a parents because remember it wasn't her baby. She found it or whatever, and then that the pilot's family is dead. His parents are dead, and I forget how the girl is abandoned or left alone. But like it's like World War II. They made like
Her
this-
mother was dying and she's like, "Oh, take care of my baby."
Yeah, it's cool that they just made this family out of like
Out of
Survivors.
nothing, out of survivors. Yeah.
And almost out of responsibility. Like that was a huge part of the movie. Like they had a responsibility to protect Tokyo, to protect each other,
to protect the
Japan,
kid.
protect the kid.
Yeah.
Even the other dudes that he works with are very concerned about the welfare of the kid.
That's
that
what I
was
liked
really
a lot.
cool.
Like I like that. Yeah, I agree with you. Also, I really like that scene when they're having dinner at their house, and the baby calls him dad, and he corrects the baby. He's like, "I'm not your dad." And literally, all his boat friends are like, "Dude, what the fuck's your problem?" Like,
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with
what is
you?
wrong
dude?
with you, bro?
That
Like,
one
this
dude,
little
like,
baby, like
grabs him and shakes him.
I like that he grabs him. He's like, "It doesn't matter. Like you have a responsibility now. You are this kid's father."
Yeah.
Don't say that shit.
I guess he didn't see Big Daddy with Adam Sandler.
Stupid. Yeah, no, I agree. This movie had a lot of heart. Like, I genuinely felt the human dynamic and emotions between all the characters.
Like, even going back to when the late, what the fuck's her name?
No, it's Kuriko, I think.
Kuriko. When she's running with the baby in the beginning and she just hands the baby off. And then he's actually stays there like a whole day almost, like
because he thinks she's gonna come back.
And then he leaves with the baby, even if he's not gonna find her. Like he has that responsibility. Even then, he's like, I can't just put the baby down. Like he thinks about it for a second, and then he's like, no. That was cool. Like all the characters were like genuinely like human, and yeah, like you said, so much heart.
I agree. I think there's also heart, and I think there's also something that we just might not be familiar with as far as like Japanese culture goes, and that like sense of like duty and honor is a really big thing among them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, social responsibility is a huge thing in Japan, right? We don't
seriously.
really have that here.
No, it is. Like I'm telling you, like I'm not even just saying that. Like my brother-in-law, he went to Japan like a month ago, and he was like, "Dude, like it's so different. Like it like they're just not like Americans and Westerners. Like they're kind of like better people, okay." So like I feel like there's also like whether we knew it or not, I'm sure some of that's also in the movie, like very specific Japanese culture things.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it's a Japanese made movie. Like it has cultural things that we don't know.
That's what I loved about it. I was like, dude, this feels, Japanese. I can like get the sense of everything.
What you're saying is like this felt like a well-delivered look into Japanese culture.
Seriously. Like using a monster movie, it felt like a well-delivered look into Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Which I think makes the movie that much more impressive. It's like, cool. This movie's delivering us sweet sci-fi shit, sweet monster shit, sweet very human shit, sweet cultural shit.
Yeah.
This is a good film.
All the boxes.
Dude, checks boxes.
I mean, the year's not over. I've still got a few things I want to see before I could give a definitive list. But I don't see this movie not being in my top 5 of the year.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking about that on my way home. Like, I still need to see Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon
is better, to be honest.
No, I don't think it will be. I don't think Oppenheimer was better than this. I don't think that. I don't think Oppenheimer is going to wind up being in my top 5.
I agree. Oppenheimer also has no rewatchability for me.
Agree. That's a huge thing about it.
I'm not going to look at it again.
I think Oppenheimer will be in my top 5, but probably at 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just other movies I'd rather rewatch. Yeah. I liked more. But this, I think this is going to be in my top 5. I want to see Asteroid City. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen it. I don't know how interested I am in it, to be honest.
I want to see Asteroid City. I want to see The Boy and the Heron.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh, that just came out too.
What's that?
The new Miyazaki movie, Studio Ghibli.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Do you fuck with Studio Ghibli at all? Dude, it's all on HBO. It's really great.
Studio Ghibli?
Yeah. They're all animated movies.
I fuck with Kimmy Gibbler from
Jake, you fuck with Studio Ghibli there.
I'm sure.
It's an animation studio from Japan that does like almost like Disney-esque movies, but infinitely better.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Okay, Cody, what movie would you say Jake should start with?
With the Gibbs?
With the Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs.
Dude, that would be sick. No, okay, so the most brutal one is Princess Mononoke. That's one of my favorite.
That is pretty brutal.
Spirited Away is an easy first one.
Oh, I've seen. Okay, I know some of these movies. I've seen Spirited Away.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't. Really, I'm just not well versed in animation, like Japanese animation, but I've seen Spirited Away.
Yeah.
No, like you don't need that. Like these are just great movies.
Yeah,
like,
they're like
there's
all
no
full
connection.
of heart. Very much in line with this movie. I feel like, you know what I mean. Like, there's always this crazy, fantastical stuff, but it's always metaphors for something bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Godzilla made by Miyazaki. Holy shit, that would be an interesting movie.
Dude, I'll tell you what, Godzilla was doing some real wonton damage up in this bitch.
Wonton damage!
You know what's funny? After Cody said that, a politician said it.
I know.
You're saying
I know.
Cody said it first,
So
guys. Cody said it
which
first.
means that Cody, you could be like a senator
A
or
politician.
a congressman. Yeah.
Oh.
That'd be awesome.
If I became a politician.
If Godzilla was attacking West Virginia, what would you do to stop it?
How would you
Oh,
even
man.
notice? That place is such a shithole.
Hey, man, West Virginia is beautiful.
This is why West Virginians aren't listening to comics and current.
Whoops.
But New Zealanders are. What's up, New Zealand?
And more. Didn't Spotify say 34 countries were listened in?
Way more than 34 countries.
Literally.
Bro.
Comics and Chronic
we are the
worldwide.
Pitbull. Yeah, we are the Pitbull of the podcast.
Dale. When we were at LA Comic Con, there was a really great Pitbull cosplay. And I was like, hey, can I get a picture? Took a picture, he posed. And then after I was done, he was just like, Dale. And then just walked away.
That's so
He was
funny.
perfectly in character.
I also just love that at Comic Con, there's some dude cosplaying as Pitbull.
But he looked like
He did
Pitbull.
look like
he
Pitbull,
looked
straight
like
up.
Pitbull.
But I just thought, like, what a random, like,
Such a silly.
Yeah.
dude,
Uh,
Pitbull's that dude, man.
yeah.
He has
No
a cool
Pitbull
interview
slander
on
on
the
the
Howard
pod.
Stern. Yeah, he has a cool interview on the Howard Stern show, and it made me kind of like him.
I bet.
Yeah, I've seen some good clips with Pitbull.
Yeah,
He seems like a likable dude.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty chill dude.
I think he just kind of like got memeified, and now like people are coming back around to liking him again. You know what I mean?
I mean, his music, you can't deny it. This shit was bangers banger in the day.
Banger,
Yeah.
banger, banger.
Banger after banger in the clip.
Okay, name one.
I can't do that. I know you want me. I know the lyrics, but I don't know the names. Of
Yeah, I
the
can sing them, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Name one.
We were hanging out in LA, and Jake was like talking about Kenny G for like a few minutes, and I'm like, talking about how he's one of the best musicians of all time. He stands on business, all this shit. I was like, name one Kenny G song.
Oh, wild.
Name one.
Here's a life hack. If anyone ever asks, name one Kenny G song. He does covers of Christmas songs. So
There
just
you
name
go.
any Christmas song, and you just name the Kenny G song.
Kenny G on the track.
I wish I had a Kenny G sound effect, just like a nice
Dude.
sax.
I want
I think
to.
Kenny G could be Godzilla.
I want to go. I want to see Kenny G perform the Godzilla soundtrack.
Ooh, I think that's
Kenny
what the G
Kenny
stands
Godzilla.
for.
Yeah, Kenny Godzilla.
Kenny Godzilla.
I could see him on like a roof
Dude,
playing his music,
Jake,
you know.
listen, hear me out.
Okay.
A character for our universe that we're building. It's just a Godzilla. It's Kenny G. He's been hit by radio waves and turned into a Godzilla-sized Kenny G.
But you also said radio waves.
Yeah, radioactive. No, he gets nuked. Kenny G gets nuked.
And he
Oh,
turns
shit.
into a Godzilla-sized
Yeah.
Kenny G.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
But just like Godzilla, he's not necessarily like he fucks shit up, but he's just territorial. He's not there with like trying to.
Kenny G's territorial. Oh, that's so good. Dude, I like that.
Kenny Godzilla.
I like Kenny Godzilla.
Kenny Godzilla. I'm down.
He's now canon in our Comics and Chronic universe. Godzilla. Dude, we'll have like our own like kaiju battle of Betty Yayo.
Yeah, yo versus Kenny Godzilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
Betty Yayo 2069. She's like Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
Chronic Jarvis, son of Chronic Jarvis.
Oh, yeah. Tag team.
Dark Beast Cody.
Dark Beast Cody. Wallockalypse. Coke dealer Anthony.
Coke dealer Anthony. You don't want him to get hit by
possessed by the devil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we also have that. Yeah, we got a lot
possessed
of
devil Anthony. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Jake is the Lord of Dreams.
Oh yeah, Dream Jake.
Dude, yeah, that'd be sick.
Cody Feige.
Yeah.
We do need like an Alex Ross picture of all of our characters.
We're gonna commission Alex Ross.
The pantheon of comics and chronic.
Betty Yo 20. Imagine explaining these characters.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
It's Betty White.
We need some Betty White Yayo 2069 fan art.
We do.
Need
That's
that.
what we need.
Yeah. If you guys, dude, if you guys want to check out the Betty Yayo 2069 episode, that's the Patreon episode coming to you guys, the public.
Ooh.
Soon.
In 2025. 24.
24. Jake lost
what
a
year
year.
it was for a second.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Patreon, we've had it all year. We started in May.
Yep.
And what we're going to do is our older episodes, we're going to start putting them out in 2024 so you guys can get a taste of Patreon. The newer episodes, you're going to have to wait a little while for those to come out. Maybe like a month. We're going to keep them in the can for our patrons still. They're still getting some exclusive things. Live episodes still going to be exclusive. But we got some bangers in the Patreon chambers, so we wanna push them out to you guys.
The Patreon chambers, yes.
Patreon chambers.
Yeah, we're releasing them. Release the Patreon episode. It's like summoning the Kraken, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. So definitely be on the lookout for that, you guys. I mean, I think we already gave our numbers, right, midway, but I'm giving it a 6.
Easy 6. Is it my favorite Godzilla movie, though? I want to ask you guys that. Is it your favorite Godzilla movie?
With recency bias, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, for sure. I would say, yeah, I mean, I'd have to rewatch the older ones to compare.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the only competition, and it's a 6 for me, no matter what. I would also give Shin Godzilla a 6. That's the stiff competition for this. I really love Shin Godzilla.
And you know how much we like stiff competition.
Hey.
Cody, what are you going to give it?
Yeah, what do you give it, Cody?
Easy money 6, baby.
Hey. Well, you know what that means, fellas. I heard 1 6, I heard 2 6, I heard.
I hear the hooves.
Yeah.
I know. There it is.
There it is.
I feel like it's been a while since we talked to Satan.
Yeah.
Your boys brought me back for Godzilla.
Yeah, we did. What up?
What's up, big potato boy?
Satan, I have a question. Because Godzilla kills so many people, will he go to hell when he dies?
Jake, I don't know if your mom told you this, but when your pets die, they don't go to heaven.
God damn, so all pets go to hell?
No, I don't know where they go, actually. God never told me that. So they might go somewhere. They're not in hell. There's not one pet in hell, not even Godzilla.
Yeah, dude, if there was a pet in hell, that would make it way cooler. You know what I mean? Satan can't be having
Everyone
that.
would want to go to hell.
Yeah, if there were pets in hell.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone would want to go there. Good point, Satan.
So don't spread that rumor. There are 0 pets in hell. Actually, Hitler's dog is in hell.
Satan, what are you doing for Christmas this year?
Bro, I don't celebrate Christmas.
I know. So do you like to fuck with like Christians and Catholics during the holidays?
Yeah, what is your...
Well, have you ever seen the Hallmark Channel? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
I run that shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Well,
Yeah,
it
that
makes sense. It makes sense. You got to think Satan would want us to focus on capitalism during Christmas.
You're right.
Those greeting cards only $10.99 at CVS for 1 card.
Oh, shit.
Inflation's a bitch. Anyway, I gotta go, guys.
Jesus Christ, he was in my body for a long time today, guys.
That was
Gotta cut him off. Gotta cut him off.
He's just so interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
Wow, you're saying Satan's more interesting than me? All right.
Dude, one day they're going to look back at these recordings and be like, wow, Satan was crazy.
What if, like, when humanity finally gets destroyed and there's like
we're the only evidence?
Yeah, like those are the only evidence
hope
left.
so.
Like literally, there's no churches, and there's no other books, and someone like picks up. I don't know why it's a tape, but it's a tape.
It's just like this,
or
the
that.
Joe
And you're
Pesci
like,
sticker.
this must have been their god or whatever. Or they hear our podcast and they're like, oh, Satan only came on this podcast.
I've not heard him on any other podcast. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. Ooh, we should start advertising like that.
We had Tommy Chong and Satan.
The only podcast to have Satan on it.
I don't know. I guarantee you that's not true.
The only comic book podcast to have Satan on it
there
and
you
Tommy
go.
Chong.
Satan and Tommy Chong are two guests.
Do you think there's another Satan on another podcast out there?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
Really?
Definitely.
I'm going to ask.
I'm going to...
If you listen to another podcast and you hear Satan, let us know.
Yeah. I
Tell
wanna
us
know
in
if
the
there's any
comments.
posers out there trying to summon the devil.
Yeah. Is Satan being a little slut?
Ooh, I hope so.
Before we go, I want to tell you guys about this comic. It's 3 issues. It's called The Giant Kokju.
Jesus Christ.
It's from Scott Koblish, who's been on the podcast. He does the art. Jerry Duggan's the writer. It's literally just like a kaiju, like Godzilla. He comes out of the sea. He comes to San Francisco, and he just starts shitting on everything and fucking everything. Like he's fucking buildings to death. Like the whole comic is like they have to stop him, but the only way to stop him is to like he's got to come. So like they're trying.
Dude, that's how I feel sometimes.
Jake is the giant Kokju, I guess.
That's who we're casting Jake as.
It came out this year. I recommend it. It's really funny. It's a quick read. If you want some kaiju comics, I'm sure there's more serious ones, but I think it's a fun read.
Nice. Fuck yeah, dude. Well,
Yep.
Yeah,
thanks for
brothers.
tuning in to our Godzilla Minus One episode, you guys. Hope you had a blast. Go check out our Patreon.
Yeah.
Go rate us on Spotify.
Berate us.
Ooh, yeah.
Berate
We're into that.
Tell us what you want to hear on the pod. What do you want to listen to? What should we talk
Tell
about?
us your
Comics.
kinks.
Yeah.
People probably will start telling us. So if you're asking them,
I mean, hey, comment on our posts with your craziest kinks.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
peace.
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jacob H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics N Chronic. That's comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo.
Peace.